Danut. And Granny Alice, who was in action at Newmarket, is the even money favourite from 6 to 5, 9 to 2 Compton River. The card players 8 to 1, 8 to 1 Ingleby Spring, 10's Hell for Leather from 12s, 16's Binky Blue, 33 to 1 Sunhill Lodge Lady, and the outsider is On a Pro at 50 to 1.
Right, back here at gloomy and pretty cold Redcar as well for a 7-race card. We start off with the juvenile contest and an interesting favourite here in Granny Alice, who's shaped really well, Mark, in what looked a hot fillies race at Newmarket.
Well, historically it's a strong race. That race 12 months earlier, remember?
Kyoshi, was it?
Kyoshi, Resina, Dutch Courage, so it was packed with good fillies. You know, time will tell how good this year's was, but it was a good start to a career.
Yeah, it certainly was. She comes here today representing Noel Quinlan, and a real good chance. Graham Lee is as well on board. 50 to 1 shot at Newmarket. Favourite today, no surprise in
No, no surprise. She showed a lot of speed, understandably. She got tired late on, but provided she builds on that performance, she'll have a decent chance.
Yeah, let's take a look at these then in race card order in the paddock. Let you have a look at them. Some of them are newcomers. First one we see isn't. This is Compton River, who is the youngest of the runners here. Late April foal, and shaped with a bit of promise here last time.
He did. He was a big price. He was 25 to 1. He was eventually finished 6th. He was beaten 9 lengths. The second Sarista went on to win at Ripon at the weekend, so that gives the form a bit of substance. But he didn't appear to be fancied first time, and he's got ground to make up with Binky Blue.
Yeah. Number 2 is a non-runner, so 3 Hell for Leather. He's an interesting horse in as much as that he comes from the Bill Turner yard, who's very adept at producing 2-year-olds to win first time out. Nevertheless, he's 10 to 1.
Yeah, and the yard have got a good record here at Redcar. Only 4 juvenile runners here in the last 5 years, 2 winners, so a good strike rate. He's a colt by Helvell and cost 12 grand. You know, interesting to see what he can do.
Certainly is. Looks a reasonable sort as well. Number 4, the card players, represents Brian Ellison. We'll keep an eye on this horse because I saw him run recently. He made his debut at Newcastle and he was a bit colty in the paddock there, but he seems a lot better today.
Yeah, he doesn't look an obvious one because he was beaten 6.5 lengths, finished 8th of 8, 50 to 1, but there was good money around for him this morning. He's related to Mick Slats, who was a dual winner on soft ground, so hopefully if he takes after him, he'll cope with the conditions.
Yeah, Binky Blue represents Tony Coyle, has had 2 runs already, the first of them shaped well. Here, less so last time out at Beverley.
That's right. You'd be disappointed with the second run because she showed definite promise in that race. It was won by Paddy again. Sarista was second, who, as I said, won at Ripon at the weekend. But she didn't build on that at Beverley. She finished 9th of 11, well beaten, having shown pace early on.
Yeah, let's take a look then at the favourite. This is Granny Alice from the Noel Quinlan yard. A shade odds on, and Graham Lee taking the mount.
Filly by Inticab. She cost €16,000, 50 to 1 shot on debut. But that, as I say, usually is a strong maiden at Newmarket. Showed plenty of speed, got tired late on, but was only beaten 2.25 lengths. Richard
Fye's had 4 individual 2-year-old winners already. This is another of his debutants. This is Ingleby Spring, Tony Hamilton, the jockey.
Yeah, she's a filly by Zebedee, who I think's had 1 juvenile winner so far, cost 11,000. Half sister to King Bertie, who was a 3 times winner on the all-weather.
On Apro has had 1 run so far. This is number 8 from the Tim Easterby yard. Adam Carter on board today. Was well held at Beverley.
She was. Another filly by Apro. She was a 50 to 1 shot on debut, 11th of 12. Never really got involved. Needs to step up on that.
And the field made up by Sunhill Lodge Lady, who is trained by Anne Duffield, and PJ MacDonald on board a winner yesterday at Pontefract. He's taken the mount.
Yeah, she's a half-sister to Chartist and Black Mama. The yard have only had a couple of juvenile runners so far. Cheap by, filly by Avonbridge.
Let's take a show of the betting.
And Granny Alice seems fairly strong at the top of the market. Touched even money back to 10 to 11, 92 Compton River. But you heard from Mark, the card players, is a horse that has been the subject of decent support, and it's about 7 to 1 or 7.5 to 1 on the exchanges, 8 to 1 on course, and that's Brian Ellison's runner outside the top 2. That's perhaps the only one of interest.
Yeah, 10 to 11 then. Granny Alice, remains to be seen just how much you learnt from her first run, but she looked fairly professional even that day, Mark.
She did, yeah. She had an eye-catching jockey booking that day, Andrea Razzini, showed plenty of speed, every chance inside the final furlong, and to be beaten 2 1/4 lengths in a Newmarket maiden at the Craven meeting, you'd like to think she'd be more than good enough to confirm this promise and win at Redcar. Richard Hannons wins the race, and also interesting, it was Noel Quinlan's first juvenile runner of the season as well, so it gives him a bit of a guide for what he's got later on.
Yeah, take a look at this race as well with an eye to Musselburgh tomorrow, because the Kevin Ryan runner who gets beat a whisker into second, Al Garawa, runs in the first race at Musselburgh tomorrow, but a good first run from Granny Alice, and no surprise on the strength of